Today, I'm going to talk to you about one of the things we do with our clients to ensure very, very consistent results in a lead generation agency. So, my name is Tristan. I own Fifth Element. We are a franchise marketing agency. We do a little over 100K MRR right now. I'm super stoked. We are scaling like absolutely crazy. It has not always been this way. I've owned this company for 6 years now and learned a ton. One of the things I'm very bad at is trying to make very quick videos where I can give away value. And what I mean by that is I always go on a rant and talk for way too much or talk way too long. So today I'm challenging myself to just get to the point. So we run meta ads for all of our clients. Some clients, we also run Google ads, TikTok ads. They are all local lead generation campaigns. Now, we need to get content for these ads because we run into ad fatigue all the time. We want to be on our toes and ready to combat ad fatigue. The name of the game is cost per lead for us. So there are three metrics that basically create cost per lead. Cost per lead is a conclusion of these three. It is CPM, which is cost per 1,000 impressions, CTR, which is your click-through rate, and then LSR, which is what we call your lead submission rate. Super quick breakdown of these, and then we're going to get right into the value. So CPM measures how much does it cost you to get 1,000 impressions. Now there's a bunch of different ways to understand that KPI. Just keep that in mind. How much does it cost me to get 1,000 impressions? How much does it cost me to just go to market? Then we have CTR, click-through rate. Of the people that saw my ad, how many of them actually clicked on it because they wanted the offer, they liked the creative, it was engaging. After that, we have lead submission rate. Of the people that clicked on the ad, how many of them got onto my landing page and said, you know what? I do want that thing, and I'm going to submit my phone number, email, and answer any other questions to turn into a lead. Today, we're talking about how to optimize CTR, which is click-through rate. So ad fatigue is something you're going to combat when you're in a very local market. For us, all of our clients, because they're franchisees, they are in local markets. So they're advertising in literally anywhere from 1 mile radius up to like a 20-mile radius. But a lot of them, almost all of our clients, are advertising in under like a 2 to 3 mile radius. So if you think of the audience size or the actual population density, it's very small, meaning your CPM might cost a little bit more because it's just hard to get a bunch of views when there's not a lot of people to get a bunch of views from. So quick little tip, if your CPM is high, you can look up how to lower it. We can talk about that in another video. If your CPM is high, be prepared for your ads to fatigue quicker. We know we have brand average CPMs and medians for all the franchise brands we work with. So we can look at a Pilates studio and say, hey, your average CPM should be 20 bucks. If this one's $35 after the first 14 days and we're using approved offers, creatives we know work at other studios and things like that, we can just come to the conclusion of, oops, this market costs a little bit more than the average. We are going to run into ad fatigue here more often than not. And this is what we do to combat ad fatigue. So something we started doing 3 years ago is content coaching. We literally tell our clients what to do. It is so easy. I really don't know why more agencies are not doing this. We just thought of it on a whim. Like after a couple years of doing our marketing for all these clients, we were like, man, it sucks just having to run crappy static ads that we just come up with all the time. Why don't we just ask the client for content? And then we realized, oh, we should probably give them directions because all the content they give us is terrible. So then when we go to edit the content, it's really, really hard. It's really hard to scale and it's really challenging. And then if we have the client edit the content, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to optimize for lead gen creative where you want to have a hook and then you go into a body and a call to action and things like that. So what our team does is we literally give content coaching. If you are an agency owner, this is so easy. You do have to make sure your team is like staffed properly for this because we give content coaching out quite a lot. So maybe you don't give it out at this level or this frequency. We're giving it out every 2 weeks. Not only has it helped our performance, like all of our campaigns just generally do significantly better, especially when we're going up against like competing agencies that are very large. It's also a differentiator. So other agencies don't offer this in the local lead generation space that we're coming across right now. And that's because it's just incredibly hard to scale. If we're giving out content coaching every 1 to 2 weeks across our portfolio of hundreds of clients right now, well, that means we're getting all that content back and we have to edit all of it. So I have gone through iterations of staff. I've gone through having in-house designers and video editors. I've gone through making them all offshore doing VAs. Right now, what's the sweet spot for us is having a creative director. Shout out Ralph on our team. He is amazing. He does such a great job. He makes all of the content coaching for all of our clients. Now, this could be super custom. If you want to get very, very detailed custom for each client, you can. It's completely up to you. Obviously, going to be a little bit harder to scale. Or you can templatize it. So if you're an agency that focuses on one small niche, like you do home services and you do HVAC guys, and you know their offers, you know their hooks, you know it works, just make like 10 different variations of content coaching that you can give to your clients and have them record every couple weeks. Usually what we're doing is we are just having the clients film hooks. So it's usually just visual hooks, sometimes audible hooks. So we'll literally just have them like stand in front of their studio and like show where it is. Like the content coaching is made mind-blowingly simple. So simple. It'll literally be like, hold your phone this way, wipe the finger grease off the camera, pan this way. And we'll give this to them. Our content coaching on average takes 10 to 15 minutes to execute because literally all we need is like 3 to 4 second clips. I tell our owners this, or our clients this all the time. We don't need like 5-minute dialogues. We don't need you, getting or feeling embarrassed and doing TikTok dances, nothing like that. We literally just need you to film the clips that we put on the coaching. We baby bird it to them. They go film it. They execute. They give us the content. Our team edits and produces all of it, and then we go reload it in their campaigns. When you put it into their campaign and you run it in their local lead gen ads, you literally need like 3 days. We don't even need that long. We can already tell which ads are winning. It is so easy. And then we just go look at all the ads that we launched. Typically that's going to be really loud. Typically when we give them their content coaching, we're looking for like 10 to 20 clips. When they send that back, that probably turns into anywhere from like 3 to 5 different lead generation ads. We'll test some different hooks, some different bodies, call to action, stuff like that. For us, because we're working with franchisees, part of a bigger brand, we are not super pressed about running like 50 different ads at one client to figure out their market, because we understand the business so well and we know that we have like 50 other markets and 50 other businesses that are identical that we can go try a bunch of different ads in. So that's why we typically are only running like, maybe 3 to 7 different lead generation ad creatives at a time. But overall, this content coaching process has been absolutely game changing for our business. Game changing. All of our content is better, all of our performance is always consistently very good. And it's also a differentiator, so we can charge a little bit more. The only kind of like thing you have to keep in mind is you're going to have to be able to keep up with this demand. So then you're going to have to adjust your service agreements to make sure that, turnaround times on content is put in there, because people are going to be sending you content, wanting it done next day. So you have to be able to drive very clear expectations of, hey, I give you this content coaching. Whenever you get me the content back, I have X day turnaround time. For us at Fifth Element, we just stick to a 7-day turnaround time. It seems to be our sweet spot. Internally, we know that it really only takes us 3 days. Our average turnaround is always like 3 to 3.5 days with our current staff. So that gives us a good buffer. Make sure your pricing is right. Another thing we did is we've tried where, we say we're going to make X amount of creatives per month. Then we've tried doing unlimited per month. Where we ended up as of lately is if you go through our service agreement, it doesn't say this, it says it in completely different terms and words, but it essentially says, hey, Fifth Element's the expert. They'll give you coaching when they feel like they need content, and they'll make however many creatives they think is needed, period. If you get into a position where you are a paid ad or lead generation agency, but now you're guaranteeing them a certain amount of deliverables in terms of content, man, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. I did that for years. It does not go well. You need to remember your outcome or the thing that you're selling. If you're an agency, doing lead generation or literally doing what Fifth Element does, is leads or sales or conversions. It's not how many ads do we launch. So I would be very careful there. A couple other tips when it comes to the actual coaching itself. Maybe I'll throw it up on the screen here so you can check it out. We have done Canva slide decks. We have done Loom screen recordings. We've done Google Docs, PDFs. Lately, we think less is more. We don't want to overwhelm someone. So what we'll do is we have all of our content coaching written in Google Docs and we just export them into PDFs. Dude, they're literally 1 to 2 pages long. They are so simple. Bullet points, but they make banger ads. We've got the coaching so simple because our creative director can see the end in mind. So he has the bigger vision. He knows that, okay, I don't need a fully scripted crazy ad from this person. If they're from Temecula, California, like where our office is, I just need them to say these 10 hooks. So I'm going to give them 10 different sentences. And for those 10 different sentences, I want them to swap in like 5 different variables into each one. So they're going to deliver me with 50 hooks. And it's only going to take them 10 minutes to record. And each clip's only going to be 3 seconds. So it'll be really easy to edit, label, all this stuff. And then he knows I already have B-roll that I'm going to use on my end where I can plug in, yada, yada, all that stuff. So it's made our coaching very efficient, our editing very efficient, and then our ad managers who are receiving the ads to go put into the campaign, they also have in mind what kind of content they're going to be receiving, and they know what they're going to be plugging in. When you start doing this coaching, you can then go look at their results in real time, and you can see, which of those ad creatives had the highest hook rates, the highest click-through rates, things like that. And the coaching compounds on itself. So if you noticed a certain hook worked incredibly well, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row, have them make iterations of that same thing and keep testing it. Really, the name of the game is content, and it is creative, though. If you're running a local lead generation agency, I mean, I could go on for hours, but you got to get good at making the ads. It's kind of straightforward if you're running a paid advertising agency. But I've always invested a lot of time, energy, and like resources, payroll into our creative team. And it has paid off a lot with a lot of our clients. So I would try giving them content coaching and then give them positive and negative reinforcements. Coach them on literally how they record the content. So this is definitely like a full-time job, but our creative director will give the coaching, and when they give the clips back, he'll then screen record him going through the clips, and he'll be like, this one's fantastic and here's why. This one's not good and here's why. You had grease on your camera. You panned too quick, too slow. We want you to use a different camera angle, whatever it may be. What's amazing is that they can literally use their phones to record all this content, and it will absolutely murder. So we do this for gyms. We do this for wellness centers. We do this for salons. We do this for home services. We do this across the board. It is a general fundamental of lead generation advertising. And I think it's something that if you're running a paid ads agency, you should highly consider. Be careful with your margins, knowing that you're going to have to change your service agreements. You definitely got to bill for it, but an absolute game changer, and it always brings consistent results for all of our clients. Last tip, I can't remember if I told you this already. If a client's CPM is high, that means their ads are going to fatigue more often. So if you have a lot of clients and you're trying to prioritize who's going to get more content or who's going to get my coaching or my bandwidth or things like that, clients that have a higher CPM means that their go-to-market just costs more. It's also a sign of not as many people in the market, which also kind of explains that they burn through ad creative faster. So if you had to prioritize, this client gets my coaching every 4 weeks versus this client gets it every 1 to 2 weeks, go find your higher CPM clients, give them more coaching more often, and that'll help fight down their cost per lead. Whereas the other places with really great CPMs are going to do a little bit better for longer periods of time. Okay, 15 minutes of value. I hope this was helpful. I am going to shave my face and get cleaned up for the next video because I look ratty, but it's midnight. I'm tired and I was stoked to use this new camera setup, a new microphone. I'm going to start posting more. Thank you very much for watching.